Eastern time,
Dude,
Andrew.
I think I slept an hour and a half last night, man.
Central time, Andrew, is a lot louder than Eastern time.
And before anyone thinks, oh, man, you were out partying all night, like, no, I don't sleep. I don't.
You don't.
And I'm ready to go. I got my hour and a half. I'm ready to go. No coffee yet, which is devastating. That will be taken care of, though, eventually. But we are broadcasting live, Johnny, from Radio Row here in New Orleans. Really cool for us because we are obviously professionals in this field.
Oh, yes,
but we're also Eagles fans. So
sure.
We get to talk about our favorite team for the next couple of days and bring you all kinds of insight. We have some great guests that we have already lined up over the next couple of days. One here in person today, Thomas Dimitrioff, who was a former GM. Can't wait to talk to him about how this Eagles team was built. Shefty, it's a Wednesday. He'll be calling in, though, because he'll be walking around like the Beatles if he decide to come down here.
Yeah, Dimitrioff turned a career as a NFL general manager for around 10-plus years into the largest firm that consults with analytics with NFL teams.
Yeah, which is big.
So he's making a freaking fortune, this guy.
I imagine.
He's just really bright. But
and you
we'll
know
talk
how
to
much
him,
that goes into decisions that are made in-game.
Correct.
And, it's not just about analytic decisions throughout the course of a week or during the offseason. It's about in-game as well, and it's amazing.
He's going to tell us whether analytically we should be very confident, like we both are, about the Birds and their chances.
If he says no, then I'm going to say screw analytics to his face.
I'm going to say he's probably going to be wearing a tweed jacket because he dresses like the college professor on One Tree Hill.
Oh.
So I'm going to.
I know what that looks like,
glasses.
Johnny.
You're a little old, younger for that one, but hey, Radio Row's great. We're here. We're in New Orleans, and Birds fans are already here.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. We'll get into it over the course of the show. A lot of Go Birds on Bourbon Street.
A lot of that last night.
Because everybody's excited. And so, Johnny, last night, I'm sitting in my hotel room putting together the show sheet, and I'm thinking about this team and how excited I am to watch the Eagles on Sunday.
Sure.
Try to play and win for the second Super Bowl in franchise history. And you start thinking about all the storylines, everything that this team has gone through over the course of the season. You think about everything that we've talked about since last week, right? I'm thinking about angles. What are we going to talk about on today's show? Because the Eagles haven't played in the game in, 10 days now, right? It's been a while since the NFC Championship game.
Sort of in withdrawal a little bit.
So the last couple of days, we've been talking more and more about how the Eagles are the better team. But the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs have Andy Reid. And that's something that we will say until we are off the air on Friday, because there's a lot of respect that we have for those two guys, for Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Everybody should have that respect.
Sure.
But how come we don't talk about certain things with the Philadelphia Eagles? We've talked about the more talented team to death.
Yes,
right?
we have.
But they are.
Okay.
They are. They're the more talented team. But how come we don't ever talk about the pedigree of the Philadelphia Eagles? Remember, we talk about the pedigree of the Chiefs and Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, totally get it, back-to-back Super Bowl champions. They deserve it. The Eagles as a franchise, and I know the teams have been different over the course of the years, this is their third Super Bowl appearance in 7 years.
8 years. 8 seasons, right?
8 seasons, but just 7. Yesterday or the other day was a 7-year anniversary of them winning Super Bowl 52.
Howie's pretty happy about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing is, though, Andrew, is that, we just saw Brady Quinn walk by. Now, look, we're both handsome men. And then Brady Quinn walks by. And you go to yourself, there's a pedigree. There's a thing. I do not want to stand next to Brady Quinn.
Okay.
Here on Radio Row. I'll stand next to 80% of the schlubs here on Radio Row and go, okay, I feel pretty good about myself. I look pretty good. Then you stand next to Brady Quinn and you go, I don't like that comparison. When you're playing the Chiefs, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are the guys you don't want to stand next to.
I get it.
They're the ones you don't want to be compared to because you lose. Sir.
But it's not like the Eagles are going into this as first-timers.
Oh, and I
right?
get you.
And so we talk about the motivation of them losing just 2 years ago. This sounds so childish, but I don't care. I believe the Eagles are a more motivated team because they lost 2 years ago than the Chiefs going for a three-peat. Even though it's history, and that should be a huge motivational factor for the Kansas City Chiefs, I would never want to feel the pain of losing. And Jalen Hurts, we've talked about this a lot. He still has the background of him walking off the field. Do you think he ever wants to feel that again?
No, you don't want to feel that again. And he's felt it. He's felt it in college. He's felt it in the pros. He understands what that drives him and motivates him. I just wonder, to me, is that I would rather, to me, if I'm talking about trying to do that comparison, I'd rather avoid the Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes conversation.
Okay.
And say, okay, I can say, I know that no matter what the Chiefs do on their defensive front, and I think it's a good one, they're not the Eagles' offensive line.
Correct.
The Eagles' offensive line, I don't think has a monstrous edge, but I think they've got an edge. I think the Eagles' top 2 wide receivers would be the top. They would be, either one of them would be number 1 in my mind on the Kansas City team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Saquon Barkley is the top running back in the game. Not necessarily even this game.
Yeah,
he is the top running back in the game this year. So to me, I try to focus on where are the Birds winning that argument. Because you know me, the last thing I want to do is lose an argument. But Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, dude, I'm getting kicked in the every time.
I get
like,
it.
Every time they have a trump card. Every time they've got something to say. Oh, really? You like that? Well, look at our pedigree. Look at our accomplishments. Look what we've done. I don't think they're going to be intimidated by this stage.
No, I don't think so. But I'm thinking about going into the game, man. Like, there's more than, yes, there's X's and O's. And we're going to break it down for you. We have been, and we're going to continue to do so. But I think about other things, John. Like the hunger to prove people wrong. And I'm not just talking about Jalen Hurts saying that people doubt me. We're going to play a clip of his coming up a little bit. But also, all season long, this team has been doubted in terms of how they play and how they win, to the point where Alex Smith felt comfortable saying on national TV, you can play this way and win the NFC Championship game, but you can't play this way and win the Super Bowl, which is a moronic statement.
It's dumb.
But that's another sort of edge toward the team. I'm not doing the whole everybody's against us.
No,
against
please
the world.
don't do that.
But
yeah.
they've constantly been diminished. Nick Sirianni is a head coach. Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. Oh, he can run. He's more of a running back than a quarterback. The style of play. What about all the adversity that they've gone through? How many times have we seen teams come together through adversity? Whether they built it themselves or not, they've overcome it.
Again, though, I don't give people credit for overcoming adversity that they create.
Giving them credit,
that they
overcame it.
You know what the Chiefs don't have? Adversity that they create. That's the thing, is that I'm not going to give the Eagles a check mark of approval for overcoming stuff that they step in, that they create themselves. And that is, but though I'm impressed the way Nick Sirianni and his team were able to turn the ship around.
Yeah.
And be able to do that. And it's not easy to do. And they did a great job with it. But look, I look at how they take care of their business, the Chiefs, and say, okay, from this point forward, I hope the Eagles organization can be a little more like them, a little less stepping in their own, pick up after your dog so you don't step in it all the time.
So my question, I guess, for you and the audience at 610-632-0975.
It better be for me. I'm sitting next to you for 4 hours.
I know we're in New Orleans in Radio Row, but the power of technology, we could still take your texts and your phone calls. When you're looking at a game like this, the magnitude, the Super Bowl 59.
Sure.
Do you, John Kincade, strictly look at X's and O's and matchups? Because I also do think of other circumstances, like motivational factors of not losing, like motivational factors of proving people wrong. The Chiefs don't have to prove anything anymore.
You do look at the. You get in your. Now I'm not making fun of your. I'm not making fun of your opinion, but you get up in your feelings a little bit.
Yeah, man.
I would tell you this. I think every professional athlete I've ever met, every coach I've ever interviewed, they're highly motivated. So I don't think in those terms. And you know me, I'm much more robotic about good, bad, yes, no, right, wrong, where I look at the matchups. And that is why I feel so good about Super Bowl 59.
But here's the thing. I feel good, too.
I know you do.
Both matchup and also all the motivational factors. So you, as a sports fan...
You're more of a Lifetime movie.
Yes.
I'm more of a, I just want to see the X's and O's.
Well, good thing we have a D3 athlete that we can ask back at the studio.
What's up, guys? Andrew Salciunas, my man John Kincade. You better be following us along all week long, because starting Wednesday and through the rest of the week, we got you covered from Radio Row, Johnny.
And it's going to be great because if you follow on our YouTube channel and you like and you subscribe, you're going to get all the great interviews and some of the little fun stuff we're doing behind the scenes to take you along with us to Super Bowl 59.
Yeah, obviously you can watch the entire show from 6 to 10, but all those shorts that we'll be doing. John and I are going to be walking around Bourbon Street. John might be carrying me around Bourbon Street.
That could happen.
So we're going to have a lot of fun, and we'll bring it to you.
And be sure to subscribe and like on everything on YouTube, and check out our socials too. We got you covered.
Absolutely. Thanks.